So I have a little bit of a tradition on this channel. Whenever I get sick, I try to cover Nurgle in some way, either as a way to honor him or placate the plague god. You might also hear it in my voice still. I had myself a little bit of an involuntary hiatus due to the fact that some cold completely claimed my voice for the past week or so. Not been great. Today, I want to talk about some of his more willing followers, the Death Guard. More specifically, some of the splinter groups from the Death Guard. They're a good amount to dig through. 42 to be exact, at least that's what Lexiconum had. Each with what we can call different levels of lore. For every renegade legion with very expansive lore with characters and even some with models, you have legions like the Brotherhood of Reaping, which sits really nicely in my favorite genre of wiki page, where the Brotherhood of Reaping is a warband that exists. But anyways, let's just get right into it and talk about some of the most fun finds that I came across. Thank you to all my channel members for making these videos possible. And a special shout out to Christian Voorhees for subscribing at the highest level. This level of support truly helps the channel, so it is greatly appreciated. The Apostles of Contagion are a fun little mention. They're not super deep or anything, but first and foremost, shout out to that name. That's really cool. They are led by a dude known as Necrosius, who is an ex-apothecary who, back during the Horus Heresy, when everyone else fell to Nurgle, he embraced it and dropped the apothecary tag immediately, since spreading disease is kind of goes against the Hippocratic Oath. Now he is a sorcerer who spreads the gifts of plague, and he is yet another Warhammer character with a title calling himself immortal, as he has been killed many times by assassins, characters, named characters. One very popular one, Ahriman. Ahriman killed him, and then he just comes back to spread more diseases. And he leads his little band of merry men to inflict horrific chemical warfare. His favorite tactic is to fill the air with warp-based gas that just melts people. He just melts the battlefield. Now this will just kill you, as you know, you're melting, or you mutate so bad you can't do anything as you're just a person puddle. So then the Death Guard can kind of just roll in and then just pop one in the head real quick. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's pretty similar to the playstyle you kind of get in Total War Warhammer 3 when you play a Nurgle faction. You know, you just debuff your enemy army so much that the fight's really easy. Now, the Infested Brethren look really simple on the surface. If you're looking for a unique paint scheme here, yeah, you're out of luck. This is just the standard Death Guard paint scheme. Since this is more relating to a plot event, the Blackstone Fortress, and this is the taking of the 7th Blackstone Fortress. Now this warband, specifically their favorite tactic was to go take over Imperial vessels and use them as little disease missiles. So they'd go throw them out into areas, fly them around, and just spread diseases willy-nilly. It was a great old time. Then they discovered Blackstone Fortresses and all what they were capable of. And they had a goofy little idea. What if we took them over with our poxwalkers? And then they did that. They just did. And they started creating some contagions, and they made 3 of them, and they're pretty nasty. The first one, the Bleeding Maw, makes you just unable to be healed at all. You take damage, unable to be healed, which is pretty bad in a universe where the main tagline is, in the far future there's only war. People are taking damage all the time. Now you can't undo that. Shit sucks. Second one, the Moldering. I don't fully get this, as it states, it inflicts your hostiles with the blessings of Nurgle, making them hardier. I don't understand why you'd want to make your enemies hardier, but good on ya, I guess. Now, this one's the scariest one. It's known as the Chronopox. This infects you with every disease you have had, could possibly have, or will have in the future of either this timeline or possible timelines. What the fuck? Now, the Tainted are pretty fun, but god, are they an example of a subfaction that I wish we had more art for. So the Tainted are a big fan of the idea of Nurgle and him being the mortifier of flesh and the father of despair. They do this by having a bunch of chaos spawn and chaos monsters. They are the creator of something known as Chaos Ogryn, which is pretty cool. I feel bad for those Ogryn though. As well as other mutants, all known under big old title, the Rotted Circus, which is so cool. Please, I want art of this. That's the coolest shit ever. This is all done in the Siege of Rocks, and Tainted did some absolute power moves. Like, I keep seeing the Siege of Rocks pop up repeatedly as I'm digging through this entire project. The Tainted did the most heavy lifting. They infected power players in the Siege. They got people to pledge their shit to Nurgle, getting pretty prominent members of the Imperial Guard to turn into Nurgle demon princes. It's a major deal. They're like the Iron Warriors of that siege, carrying that shit on their shoulders. Now, the last one I want to talk about is the Weeping Legion. So these guys have two main notable things. The first is how they got their name. Now, they aren't just going around like crying all the time. It's more like weeping wounds. It's gonna get a little gross, but this is a death card. You know what you're clicking on. So they don't have normal blood anymore. They have instead filth in them. So they don't patch their wounds, and they just let their wounds kind of get everywhere. So when they march into battle, they're still bleeding, and then this gets all over their armor, it solidifies, and then makes them sturdier and harder to kill. It's like they're just constantly gaining armor every time you wound them. This is genuinely very cool. The second aspect is the one I'm not a fan of, for personal reasons. Their main personality trait is they love demon engines, and all they really want in their day is more Plague Burst crawlers and Blight haulers. So they target the Mechanicus to get the resources, to go then get the Dark Mechanicus to help make that good shit. Now, someone who's played against the Death Guard, and someone who plays Custodes, where the Death Guard are what it feels like is the hard counter to my Custodes, I absolutely hate this. I hate Nurgle Demon Engines so much, and I hate this sub-faction. I hope they lose their next engagement. So anyways, that's about it. A shorter video because that is kind of all my voice can manage. So yeah, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and see ya.